Liam Parker was the kind of guy every girl at Brookdale College noticed. At 22 years old, he had an effortless charm that made people trust him instantly. He was athletic, funny, confident without seeming arrogant, and knew exactly how to make someone feel special when they were around him. His girlfriend, Ava Mitchell, had fallen for him almost immediately during their freshman year. Unlike Liam, Ava was quiet and deeply loyal. She didn't care about popularity or parties. She cared about honesty, stability, and the kind of love that lasted longer than temporary excitement. For nearly 2 years, they had been inseparable. Ava believed Liam was different from other guys. And for a long time, Liam tried to believe that too. But lately, something inside him had started changing. College life had brought attention he never expected. Girls flirted with him constantly. Messages filled his phone late at night. Compliments, invitations, secret conversations. At first, Liam ignored them. Then he started enjoying them. Eventually, he began craving them. The attention made him feel powerful, desired, untouchable. And the more predictable his relationship with Ava became, the more tempted he felt by the thrill of secrecy. Meanwhile, for girls from campus had slowly become part of his hidden world. Mia Reynolds, Chloe Sanders, Jasmine Lee, and Riley Carter. Each of them knew Liam had a girlfriend. But Liam had a way of making every person feel uniquely important. To Mia, he acted vulnerable and misunderstood. To Chloe, he was adventurous and reckless. To Jasmine, he was charming and intellectual. To Riley, he was emotionally broken and trapped in a relationship he supposedly wanted to leave. Every lie was carefully tailored. And somehow, he kept them all separate. At least for a while. One Friday evening, Brookdale College hosted a huge rooftop party celebrating the basketball team's regional championship. The campus buzzed with excitement. Music blasted across the rooftop lounge while students crowded around drinks, dancing beneath flashing lights. Ava arrived with Liam shortly after sunset. She wore a dark blue dress Liam had once told her was his favorite. The moment he saw her, he smiled. "You look beautiful," he said softly. Ava blushed. "You always say that." "Because it's always true." And for a moment, he meant it. But throughout the night, Liam's attention wandered. Toward Mia laughing near the bar. Toward Chloe dancing with friends. Toward Jasmine sitting near the fire pit. Toward Riley watching him from across the rooftop with a knowing smile. Ava noticed his distraction immediately. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," Liam replied quickly. "Just tired." But he wasn't tired. He was excited. The danger of juggling secrets had become addictive. Around 10 o'clock, Ava left briefly to help one of her classmates downstairs. The moment she disappeared, Liam pulled out his phone. One message sent to 4 different girls. "Meet me upstairs. One at a time." The rooftop building had a private maintenance hallway students rarely used. Dark. Quiet. Hidden from the party. Perfect for secrets. Mia arrived first. "You're insane," she whispered nervously. Liam smirked. "You came anyway." She laughed softly before kissing him. 15 minutes later, she left through the opposite stairwell. Then came Chloe. Then Jasmine. Then Riley. Each encounter was quick, reckless, and hidden beneath layers of lies. Liam felt invincible. Like he could manipulate everyone around him without consequences. Meanwhile, Ava wandered the crowded rooftop searching for him. At first, she assumed he was with friends. But after nearly 40 minutes passed, unease crept into her chest. She texted him. No response. Then she noticed something strange. Each time she asked someone if they'd seen Liam, they looked uncomfortable. Avoidant. Like they knew something she didn't. Finally, Ava spotted Riley exiting the restricted hallway, fixing her hair nervously. Seconds later, Liam emerged behind her. His shirt slightly wrinkled. His expression tense. The moment he saw Ava standing there, his entire face changed. Fear. Then forced calmness. "Ava," he said quickly, "I was just helping Riley find." Don't, Ava interrupted quietly. The pain in her voice hit harder than shouting ever could. Riley immediately walked away without saying a word. Ava stared at Liam for several long seconds. Then her eyes drifted toward the hallway door. And suddenly, pieces started connecting in her mind. The late-night texts. The emotional distance. The hidden phone screen. The excuses. Her chest tightened painfully. "How many?" she asked softly. Liam froze. "Ava." "How many girls?" He said nothing, and silence became the answer. Tears filled Ava's eyes instantly. "You promised me," she whispered. Liam stepped closer desperately. "It's not what you think." A bitter laugh escaped her. "You came out of a hidden hallway behind another girl." People nearby had started noticing the tension now. The music still played loudly around them, but Ava felt like the world had gone silent. Then Mia appeared near the staircase, followed moments later by Chloe and Jasmine. All four girls unknowingly gathered within sight of each other. Realization spread across their faces one by one. Riley looked horrified. Chloe frowned at Mia. "Wait, you two." Jasmine turned toward Liam slowly. "What the hell is going on?" For the first time all night, Liam lost control. Because the lies he'd carefully separated were suddenly colliding all at once. Ava stared at the girls surrounding him. Then at Liam. Her voice cracked. "All of them." No one answered. They didn't need to. Ava stepped backward like she couldn't breathe anymore. Liam reached for her arm. "Ava, please." She pulled away instantly. "Don't touch me." The hurt in her eyes shattered something inside him. Because in that moment, Liam realized he wasn't losing random hookups. He was losing the one person who had truly loved him without games, lies, or conditions. But it was already too late. Ava wiped tears from her face and looked at him one final time. "I defended you to everyone," she whispered. "I trusted you completely." Then she walked away into the crowd while snow began falling lightly over the rooftop. And Liam stood there surrounded by the ruins of every lie he had created, unaware that someone nearby had secretly recorded everything. And by morning, the entire college would see it. The video spread across Brookdale College by sunrise. By lunchtime, everyone had seen it. Students whispered in hallways. Group chats exploded with screenshots. People stopped talking whenever Ava walked past them. Humiliation followed her everywhere. Meanwhile, Liam's world began collapsing just as quickly. Mia blocked his number. Jasmine publicly called him a liar. Chloe posted cryptic messages online about fake men who manipulate women. Even Riley, the only one who had seemed emotionally attached to him, refused to answer his calls. For the first time in years, Liam felt genuinely alone. But none of that compared to losing Ava. 3 days after the rooftop incident, Liam stood outside Ava's apartment building in the freezing rain, staring at the glowing windows above. He had already texted her 37 times. Called 12. No response. Still, he refused to leave. Finally, around midnight, the apartment door opened. Ava stepped outside wearing an oversized hoodie, her face pale from exhaustion. The moment Liam saw her, emotion overwhelmed him. "Ava." She crossed her arms tightly. "You need to stop coming here." "I know." He swallowed hard. I need you to hear me." Ava looked away. "You lied to me for months." "I know." "You humiliated me in front of everyone." "I know." "You cheated on me with 4 different girls." Liam lowered his head. "I know." Snowflakes drifted silently between them. For a long moment, Ava said nothing. Then Liam's voice cracked. "I ruined everything." That finally made her look at him again. Because for the first time since she'd met him, Liam Parker didn't look confident or charming. He looked broken. "I was selfish," he whispered. "I kept chasing attention because it made me feel important. But none of it meant anything." Ava's eyes filled with tears despite herself. You expect me to believe that? No, he shook his head immediately. You have no reason to trust me anymore. Then why are you here? Because losing you made me realize what I actually destroyed. The pain in his voice sounded real, and that was what made this harder. Because Ava still loved him, even after everything. That was the cruelest part. Liam stepped closer carefully. I'll spend the rest of my life making this up to you if you let me. Ava stared at him silently. Part of her wanted to slam the door in his face forever. Another part remembered every late-night conversation, every moment he'd held her when she cried, every memory they had built together. Love doesn't disappear overnight. Even after betrayal. Especially after betrayal. You swear it's over? She asked quietly. Liam nodded instantly. I swear. No more lies. No more lies. No more girls. Never again. Ava searched his face desperately, looking for signs he was lying. But Liam had always been good at sounding sincere. Finally, tears rolled down her cheeks. And against her better judgment, she forgave him. At first, things seemed different. Liam became attentive again. He brought Ava coffee before classes, walked her home every evening, deleted social media posts, stopped going to parties entirely. To everyone around them, it looked like the scandal had changed him. Even Ava slowly began believing it too. But temptation is dangerous when someone never truly changes internally. And Liam hadn't. Not really. Deep down, he still craved the thrill. The secrecy. The validation. The feeling of being wanted by multiple people at once. He just became better at hiding it. A week later, Liam received a message from Chloe. Miss me? He stared at the screen for several seconds. Then locked his phone. 5 minutes later, another message arrived. Riley. Ava seriously took you back? Then Jasmine. Then Mia. The four girls had begun talking to each other again. And somehow, instead of hating Liam completely, the chaos had created a strange bond between them. A toxic curiosity. An addiction to drama. A dangerous game. At first, Liam ignored the messages. Then he started replying. Only casually. Only joking. At least that's what he told himself. But late one Thursday night, Riley sent a message that changed everything. Hotel Meridian. Room 417. Tomorrow night. One last time. Liam's pulse quickened instantly. He knew it was wrong. He knew if Ava discovered the truth again, it would destroy her completely. But selfish people often confuse guilt with restraint. And guilt alone rarely stops them. The next evening, Ava believed Liam was attending a late study session with classmates. Instead, Liam stood outside Hotel Meridian, adjusting his jacket nervously. Rain poured across the city streets. Neon lights reflected off wet pavement. For several seconds, Liam remained frozen near the entrance. He could still walk away. He could still choose Ava. But then his phone buzzed. Room 417. We're waiting. And just like before, temptation won. Upstairs, the hotel suite glowed with dim lights and loud music. The atmosphere felt reckless from the moment Liam entered. Mia laughed as he walked inside. I knew you'd come. You're unbelievable, Jasmine muttered, though she smiled anyway. Riley handed Liam a drink. So much for changing. Liam forced a grin, but anxiety twisted inside him. This stays here, he said. No videos. No drama. Chloe smirked. You're scared now. I'm serious. For a while, everything blurred together. Music. Alcohol. Laughter. Bad decisions. And somewhere deep down, Liam knew he was destroying the last good thing in his life all over again. But by then, he was too weak to stop himself. What Liam didn't know was that someone had already recognized him entering the hotel. A hotel receptionist named Elena had seen the viral rooftop video days earlier. And when she noticed Liam arriving with multiple girls while holding hands with none of them, suspicion immediately formed. Then she saw Ava's photo on his phone wallpaper while he checked in. Elena hesitated for nearly 20 minutes. Finally, guilt outweighed fear. She found Ava's social media profile online and sent a single anonymous message. "Your boyfriend is at Hotel Meridian. Room 417. You deserve to know." At first, Ava thought it was fake. A cruel prank. But then another message arrived. "He's with the same girls." Ava felt her stomach drop instantly. Her hands started shaking. "No," she whispered. She called Liam immediately. No answer. Again. Voicemail. Again. Nothing. Tears filled her eyes almost instantly. Not again. Please, not again. Within 20 minutes, Ava was speeding through downtown in a taxi while rain slammed against the windows. Her heartbeat thundered painfully in her chest the entire ride. Part of her prayed she was wrong. Part of her already knew she wasn't. When she reached Hotel Meridian, she rushed through the lobby breathlessly. The receptionist looked at her sympathetically. "Fourth floor," Elena said quietly. Ava didn't even speak. She ran toward the elevator. By the time she reached room 417, her entire body trembled uncontrollably. Music echoed faintly behind the door. Laughter. Voices. Then Liam's voice. Ava's world shattered all over again. Slowly, she reached for the handle. Unlocked. The door creaked open. Inside, the room exploded into silence. Liam froze instantly when he saw her standing there. The color drained from his face. "Ava." The four girls turned in shock. For several horrifying seconds, nobody moved. Rain thundered outside the hotel windows while Ava stared at the scene before her. The drinks. The dim lights. The girls. Liam standing in the middle of it all. Every promise he made, destroyed in less than 2 weeks. Tears rolled silently down Ava's face. But this time, something was different. Last time she looked heartbroken. This time she looked empty. And somehow, that terrified Liam far more. "Ava, listen to me. Don't." Her voice was cold now. Unrecognizable. "You swore to me." "I know You looked me in the eyes and swore." Liam stepped forward desperately. "It didn't mean anything." Ava laughed softly through tears. "That's supposed to make it better?" Nobody else in the room spoke. Even the girls looked uncomfortable now. Because suddenly this wasn't exciting anymore. It was ugly. Real. Painful. Ava wiped tears from her cheeks slowly. Then she reached into her pocket and dropped something onto the floor in front of Liam. The silver promise ring he had given her on their first anniversary. Liam stared at it in horror. "Ava." Her voice cracked one final time. "You didn't just cheat on me." She looked directly into his eyes. "You made me hate myself for trusting you twice." Then she turned and walked out of the room. This time, Liam didn't follow her. Because deep down, he knew there was nothing left to save. After the hotel incident, Ava disappeared from campus for nearly a week. She stopped answering calls. Stopped attending lectures. Stopped replying to friends. Rumors spread quickly across Brookdale College. Some students mocked her for taking Liam back in the first place. Others blamed Liam completely. Most simply treated the entire situation like entertainment. But nobody understood what was happening inside Ava's mind. The betrayal had broken something fundamental in her. Not just her trust in Liam. Her trust in herself. Meanwhile, Liam's life spiraled further out of control. The four girls wanted nothing serious to do with him anymore. Whatever excitement once existed had turned into bitterness, jealousy, and resentment. Mia accused him of manipulating all of them. Jasmine publicly humiliated him online. Chloe threatened to expose private messages. Riley became obsessed, texting him constantly, demanding attention one moment and threatening him the next. Liam suddenly found himself trapped in the chaos he created. For the first time, consequences were becoming real. 3 days after Ava left the hotel, Liam sat alone in his apartment staring blankly at dozens of unread messages. Most were insults. Some were threats. One message from Ava remained unread because he couldn't bring himself to open it. Deep down, he already knew what it said. It was over. A loud knock suddenly echoed through the apartment. Liam frowned and opened the door. Riley stood outside. Rain soaked her clothes and mascara streaked beneath her eyes. "We need to talk." Liam sighed heavily. "Riley, not tonight. She's ruined everything." "What?" "Ava." Riley stepped inside angrily. "You're obsessed with her even after everything." Liam shut the door. "Don't start this. She turned you against all of us." Liam stared at her in disbelief. "You think Ava is the problem here?" Riley's expression darkened. "You promised me things. I never promised you anything serious." The moment those words left his mouth, Riley's face changed completely. Cold. Dangerously cold. For weeks, Riley had convinced herself she was different from the others. That Liam truly cared about her most. Now she realized she had simply been another secret. Another lie. "You used me," she whispered. Liam rubbed his forehead tiredly. "Riley, just go home." But Riley didn't move. Instead, she slowly pulled out her phone. "You know," she said quietly, "Ava wasn't the only person who got anonymous messages." Liam frowned. "What are you talking about?" Riley smiled faintly. "I sent the hotel tip." Liam froze. "You what?" She deserved to know. "You set me up?" Riley laughed bitterly. "You set yourself up." Liam's anger finally exploded. "You're insane. And you're a liar." The apartment fell silent. Then Riley's voice dropped lower. "If I can't have you, nobody can." Something about the way she said it sent genuine fear through Liam for the first time. "Riley." But she was already walking toward the kitchen. At first, Liam thought she was leaving. Then he saw the knife. Everything happened too fast after that. "Riley, put that down." Tears streamed down her face now. "You destroyed my life. You need help." "No," she whispered. "You do." Liam stepped backward as she advanced toward him, shaking violently. "Riley, stop." But obsession had already consumed her completely. She lunged suddenly. The knife slashed across Liam's shoulder, sending him crashing backward into the coffee table. Pain exploded through his body. "Riley!" he screamed. She attacked again wildly. Liam grabbed her wrist desperately as they struggled across the apartment floor, knocking lamps and glass onto the ground. "You ruined everything." Riley sobbed hysterically. The knife swung again, this time sinking deep into Liam's side. He gasped in horror. Warm blood spread rapidly across his shirt. For a split second, Riley froze in shock at what she'd done. But panic only made her more unstable. She stabbed again, and again, and again, until Liam stopped moving. The apartment became horribly quiet. Riley stumbled backward, breathing hard. Blood covered her hands. The floor. The walls. Liam lay motionless beside the shattered coffee table, staring blankly at the ceiling. 20 minutes later, police sirens echoed outside the apartment complex. A neighbor had reported screaming. Officers arrived to find the front door partially open. Inside, the scene looked like something from a nightmare. Furniture overturned. Broken glass everywhere. Blood soaked into the carpet. And in the center of it all, Liam Parker's body. Riley sat in the corner trembling uncontrollably, still clutching the knife when officers entered. She didn't resist arrest. She simply stared blankly ahead and whispered the same sentence over and over. "He said he loved me." News of the murder spread across Brookdale College by morning. Students gathered in stunned silence across campus. Nobody could believe it. What began as cheating scandals and betrayal had ended in horrifying violence. Ava learned about Liam's death while sitting alone in her apartment. At first, she thought the article had to be fake. Then she saw the police photos outside his building. And suddenly, the reality became unbearable. Despite everything Liam had done, part of her still loved him. And now he was gone forever. For days, Ava blamed herself. If she had never forgiven him. If she had never left the hotel. If she had answered his messages. But eventually, she realized the truth. Liam's death wasn't caused by one moment. It was caused by months of lies, manipulation, selfishness, and emotional destruction that spiraled beyond anyone's control. At Liam's funeral, rain poured heavily across the cemetery. Students stood quietly beneath black umbrellas while Liam's grieving parents cried beside the casket. Ava remained near the back of the crowd. She wore the silver promise ring on a chain around her neck. Not because she forgave him, but because she wanted to remember the boy he used to be before lies consumed him. As the funeral ended, Ava looked down at the casket one final time. And for the first time in weeks, tears finally stopped falling. Because deep down, she understood something tragic. Sometimes people don't destroy their lives all at once. Sometimes they do it slowly. One selfish decision at a time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like this video for more true crime video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and theories in the comments section below. Take care and see you in the next video.